When a monk meets a hooligan. The real reason why Bliss and Wisdom was targeted by the Canadian media. Part 2. Text by William Huang. In the last episode, we finished talking about David. Today, let's talk about the second key figure, Floyd. I checked Floyd on the internet and found that between 2017 and 2018, he appeared in a large number of local media in PEI, with the title of spokesperson of this group of monks. Now I am even more curious, how can the spokesperson of the monks attack the monks in turn? I asked a few friends, who is this person? The answer was beyond my expectation. Someone said, he likes to tell lies, and everyone doesn't believe what he says. Some people also said, he is just a hooligan. If you are entangled by him, it will be endless. I was just curious, how could a person with such a bad evaluation become the spokesperson of the monks? Just because he's bald too. My friends said that they knew some nuns, female monks, from Bliss and Wisdom. According to them, this Floyd lived in the Brutinel community where the nuns' monastery is located. He welcomed them as a neighbor, and later recommended himself as their consultant. Most of the nuns are Taiwanese, and they are unfamiliar with the place when they first arrived in PI. Of course, they are very happy to meet such enthusiastic and helpful islanders. Earlier, they set up a release park on the island and bought a lot of cattle and horses, but they didn't know how to take care of the animals, so they had to ask a local farmer for help, but the farmer kept false accounts to defraud them of money. I was wondering if their teachings are to believe that all the people in the world are good people, so they haven't realized they have been cheated, so pitiful. Later, they asked Floyd for help. He used some means to settle the farmer who cheated money, and made the monks and nuns feel that they had met a savior, so it was logical to ask him to be a consultant to help them solve other problems. At that time, they were also building temples. It seemed that they encountered some difficulties because of buying land or applying for building licenses. They asked Floyd to help them deal with these problems. Floyd is very active in the decision-making of the two ashrams. From the beginning, he was only a consultant. It is said that he received a lot of consulting fees, and then he became more and more arrogant. He asked the monks to ask him for all decisions, and he even appointed which developer to look for. Yes, they later found out that the developer he appointed was run by his relatives. Floyd also opened a landscape company himself, requiring him to do all the landscape business and not entrusting others. The reason was because he was worried that they would be scammed by other islanders like last time. It turns out that Floyd's fees are more expensive than others, and if you want to change companies, he will threaten you that you breached the contract and sue you. The monks tried to refuse some of his requests, and he frightened the monks to death by throwing a fit of rage and swearing. Some other islanders also reminded this group of overly simple monks and nuns, Floyd is a consultant to earn your money, and his reputation is not good, which will damage your image. Unexpectedly, this was heard by Floyd later, and he immediately called the islanders' house to swear. Totally a rogue. My friend said that some people asked the monks why they wanted Floyd as a consultant. The nuns said, because Floyd is very enthusiastic to help them deal with many problems, such as how to buy land, pay cash instead of remittance, which taxes to pay and which not to pay. My friend said, Floyd is eyeing this group of monks who are rich and simple. It's a fat sheep at all, it would be a pity if he didn't slaughter it himself. So first help them to scare away the farmer who swindled money in front, and then replace him to swindle their money. My friend suddenly asked me, what is the status of a monk in Buddhist culture? Is it similar to a priest? I said, I don't know, but I know that in Buddhism, the status of a monk is higher than that of ordinary people. Ordinary people are very respectful to monks. Sometimes they kneel down and worship with their heads. My friend said he was at a neighborhood meeting once, and heard Floyd flirtatiously call some nuns, girls. Although my friend does not understand Buddhist culture, it is very uncomfortable to see Floyd's attitude towards clergy, especially women. Later, it was rumored that he stretched out his impolite hands to the two nuns, but it was not known whether it was true or not. But what is certain is that the nuns then began to distance themselves from him, telling him that he was no longer needed as a consultant. As can be imagined, Floyd was furious and threatened to make them death ugly, and said that he had a lot of temple land transaction information in his hands, and if they didn't listen to him, he would make the information public. In fact, what Floyd did was breaking the law. The consultants hired by the organization all have confidentiality clauses. It does not mean that illegal activities are kept secret, but certain types of data cannot be backed up or leaked. Most companies have such clauses. Maybe these monks really couldn't bear it, and they asked him to leave regardless of Floyd's threats, and cut off contact with him ever since. My friends said they all knew there was a good show coming. At the beginning, the monks were advised not to hire Floyd, but they did not accept it, and now they have fired Floyd. Based on what the locals know about Floyd, he will not let it go. Sure enough, it didn't take long for Floyd to fight back. He published a nun's architectural plan, which contained their vision for future buildings. Of course, they had not yet applied for a building license, and encouraged local islanders to go to public hearings to protest. Later, the nun's building license was not approved. Then he went to find the aforementioned David, because David had contacts and Floyd had confidential information, and the two hit it off. They first went to the gate of the governor's house to protest, and then went to the newspaper to submit a letter, and the result was the Globe and Mail we saw. That's the context of the whole thing. There is a Chinese saying, when a monk meets a soldier, he can't explain why. Today in Canada, monks do not meet soldiers, but hooligans. As I write this, I suddenly feel very sad. I mourn that monks no longer believe that all people are good. I mourn that PEI may lose a group of kind friends and the economic prosperity they brought. Maybe PEI people never wanted it. As a Taiwanese, I am sad to see Taiwanese being bullied by foreigners. It saddens me as a Canadian to watch Canadians bullying foreigners. I feel sad that when Taiwanese are bullied by foreign media, Taiwanese media also bully them. I am sad that the media I trust will actually believe the nonsense of these two hooligans. The author now lives in Toronto, Canada.